Hi guys, it's Luna, and what we're going to be talking about today is anime remakes and my burning hatred for them. Now, I don't like the fact that most anime remakes are basically just trying to piggyback off the back of whatever anime they're trying to portray. Example, Sailor Moon Crystal. Why did we need that? You can argue that maybe it was good or bad. Why was it needed? It wasn't. It wasn't good in my opinion. It just was like, why am I watching this? Literally in Sailor Moon, this thing that made me mad. In Sailor Moon, they've died several times and came back. Why did we need a remake of something that already happened in the fucking show? Why do I need a remake of that? We don't. Now the reason this whole topic is even coming up of my passionate hatred for this shit is solely because of the Inuyasha remake. I heard some stuff about the characters where I'm like, I'm not watching this bullshit. I don't want to hear about it. And I'm going to feel the same exact way I felt about Steven Universe of like, shut up. I don't want to hear shit about it. I will start unfollowing people. It's that serious how I feel. I'll start unfollowing people who post about it. It's that serious. So I know they're going to do it to excess. When I heard about the character who was a girl but looks like a boy because we're not going to do the whole gender roles thing in here, like it's bullshit. I was the first sign of like, I don't want to, no thank you. To be fair, I'll give them past the whole time travel thing because that's kind of actually in the show. So I was like, okay, I'll give you past there. But any other show who does that, fuck you. There's the whole time travel thing. There's the fact that the characters don't know that they're siblings, or rather that they're like, they were separated at birth type bullshit. Stop. Just make another set of characters that aren't related to Kagome and Inuyasha and put them in there. Like, if nothing, it makes more sense to make characters that are related to like the side characters. That would have been more interesting to see how their lives have progressed and then show Kagome and Inuyasha children in the show. But they wouldn't do that because they need Kagome and Inuyasha, because they don't have those characters and the show is boo-boo butt cheek and they can't lean on that little factor, or they can't lean on it for long. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're trying to keep these characters that people fell in love with and try to clench on to them so you can make more money out of this remake. I don't appreciate it. They're Disney it. I hate when people Disney it. Like, don't do some Disney Aladdin type shit. Don't do some Disney Lion King type shit, because then when it's bad or when it is terrible in a new and fresh way, pretty much, then all of the fans come out and like, it's still Inuyasha, it's still this, you're just mad at that show, you just didn't like how Sailor Moon ended, you just didn't like how this worked. No, I liked Sailor Moon. There are problems because, shocker, when you look back on animes that were back in the day, they become shitty. As a young adult, you can think of things critically now. So you can understand that, like, oh, this didn't make sense. This is maybe not the best thing they should have done. This doesn't make sense. Why did they do this? Why did this happen? This was kind of stupid. So for you to remake that isn't helping. It doesn't make it less stupid. It doesn't make it less dumb because you try to then throw queer baiting or some bullshit in there. Like, that's literally what they do. They just remake it and then throw some extra shit in there so it comes more modern, but it's still stupid. It's still shitty. Card Captors, the remake for that, oh my god, it was still crappy. It was terrible. It was actually bad because Card Captors had so many holes that I could poke in it. And Card Captors Crystal, I believe, I don't think that's the name of it, but I believe that's the, or like Clear or something, whatever the fuck the name was for that Card Captors remake, was still bad. Fruits Basket, still bad. Still romantic drama that was kind of cringy and bad looking back at it. It's this thought that I hate about animes. If I make this anime really pretty and I make the graphics and the animation and all of that beautiful, if I make it breathtaking, and you won't see the flaws in the story, you won't see why this doesn't make sense, you won't see that the voice actor is garbage, you won't see all these flaws because it's so pretty. That's what happened with a lot of shows. You guys, if you don't know, my little irritation with Little Witch Academia, there was a big case of that shit in there where it's so pretty so you don't see any flaws, and then when I start pointing out little flaws here and there, no one cares. So they're just like, well, it's still a good anime. I'm like, why? The whole plot doesn't really even make sense, and a lot of the plot could have been solved, and they don't even answer a lot of the questions that the plot brings up, and it's just like, no, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because it's pretty. That makes it a good anime because it made me cry, because it made me feel feelings. And I'm like, okay, put those feelings aside for a second. This is garbage. It's like people who believe that Dragon Ball Z is a really, really good anime. Like it was the best anime of the world. You can't tell them shit. And even I, someone who loves Dragon Ball Z, I love Dragon Ball Z. I'd buy their merch. I love it. Even me, it was kind of trash. It pretty much had Sailor Moon's problems, where like they had to bring people back. There's a lot of just like convenience plot shit where I'm just like, that was kind of dumb. Trunks' whole thing, it's kind of stupid. All the stuff, meh. I like their video games. I like the stuff that came out of this, but also I can see critically how this isn't the best anime in the world, and I can critique this. You know, I just see stuff like this and it just boils my blood because it's always pandering and it's always messy and bullshit. It's just like, make a new show. Are you that bad of a writer where you can't make a new show, or you can't even make something based off of the same universe? You have to make something related to those characters, related to that story. You can't make anything different. And I say this because usually people start making stuff like this when they're running out of money. Let's be honest with ourselves. Disney starts making stuff like this when they're running out of money, or they need money to fund something that they don't have the money for, or they don't think they have the budget for. Even though Disney's a big company, they can't fund everything. So they're brought with an idea that's basically, let's pander to this type of audience and suck a little bit of money out of them, and they'll do so. They have no problem with that. They're not creative. A lot of the shit they stole. Let's go with a little rant on Disney. You can leave the video if you don't want to hear this, but Disney is trash, okay? They stole The Lion King. They stole all the fairy tale stories, all the stuff that, again, pretty animations, right? They had these characters that how they portrayed them, innocent, Snow White, Cinderella, all that's pretty, right? Those pretty visuals, those songs, they just captivated you, right? Which you not realizing that shit was stolen. People don't even know where those things came from nowadays. They'll just literally be like, oh yeah, the Disney movie, right? That shit was stolen. A lot of their shit was stolen. They don't make a lot. As a company, they'll either steal or buy a lot of stuff, like whether it's companies or ideas, they'll buy a lot of shit. They bought Marvel, didn't they? I'm sorry if I'm wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they bought Marvel, called taking the opportunity and running with it. A lot of companies do that. That's kind of what's happening here, where it's pretty much what's happening. But that's all I have to say about it. If you feel differently, tell me why. If you don't, then I'll dislike this video or do whatever. If you like this video, like it. If you want to subscribe, you can. I'm a bad person. You shouldn't do that. Don't support me. Not a good person. If you guys want to leave me suggestions about stories, I'm taking suggestions again. I'm going to be looking at the comments again. I think I finally got over my depressive streak. Streaming helped. Streaming is going to be something that I probably do more. So follow me on Twitter and Instagram so you can see when I'm streaming. I'll probably put it on my story, and on Twitter I'll probably tweet it out with the link. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.